Hey everyone, Alison here. This episode of the Half Hour Happy Hour is brought to you by Flex. The Flex Company is the leader in innovation in feminine care and the sole maker of the menstrual disc, a new product that replaces tampons, pads, and cups. Flex gives you the most comfortable period of your life, promising 12 hours of period protection and mess-free period sex. Woo! Try Flex today by going to IHateTampons.com/half-hour. That's IHateTampons.com/half-hour and get your first 3 months for only $15 plus free shipping. Take that, Space Wolves.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Half Hour Happy Hour with Allison and Alex. I'm Alison Haislip.
And I'm Alex Albrecht. This week, like every week, we are going to sip some booze and spit us some news.
I feel like I've had 3 sips of booze and I'm already boozed.
I know, you're already spitting some booze.
I'm all over the place.
It's amazing. You know who's not all over the place?
Our rock. Our rock. Our Gibraltar.
Our Gibraltar. Our Blarney Stone.
I kissed the Blarney Stone.
Super Volcano Kravsky. Oh my God.
Tom.
What?
You kissed me, the Blarney Stone?
I did. Oh.
The Blarney
Don't tell
Stone?
Jen. Don't tell your wife.
I won't. You know,
I love that. I won't.
speaking of, just real quick, I love this, but speaking of Ireland, Andrew McCarthy sometimes writes articles for the AAA magazine. You know, Andrew McCarthy from
the 80s movies?
Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So he writes articles about Ireland and his trips there. So every time like I get a
crazy.
new AAA magazine, sometimes there's an article written by him. Like, that's awesome.
Tom, you're
About
the
Ireland.
only
It's
human
amazing.
You're the only human being I know who reads the AAA magazine.
It has great things. It's about Southern California.
And so much so that he has, authors in it that
That he
prefers.
pays attention to.
Yeah.
I can't say I normally pay
Jen
attention to the people who write articles, the names of
No.
the people who write articles.
Jen made AAA magazine once. Her tweet about Harry Potter World right behind our house, and they found it and they put it in the AAA magazine.
Oh,
See, that's like a big part of my life.
I
Just think about that.
So your family is a contributor to the magazine.
probably.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
Sorry for the segue, but just
No, I love
made me
it.
think about Andrew McCarthy.
By the way,
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. Slash 24 hours.
24 hours. Less than 24 hours, I
Yeah,
think.
probably.
But it's interesting because now we are post. So obviously, as we said, we're doing a bunch of these things together because of all
Yes, this
travel.
episode is being recorded at the end of October, even though you guys are listening to it probably right before Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah,
I think that's where
potentially,
we're at. Yeah. So we just yesterday we were at our New Year Comic-Con show.
Los Angeles, but yeah.
Oh, Los Angeles. Oh, my God. I told you, all the booze all of a sudden.
That's great.
Yeah, we were at Los Angeles Comic-Con, so it's a little bizarre because that episode aired, and then the 2 episodes were recorded before Los Angeles Comic-Con aired, and now we're back to post Los Angeles Comic-Con life.
And it gets even weirder because
Why?
we are in the middle of Halloween.
Yeah.
Right. The 3 of us are.
The 3 of us
The
are.
listeners are not.
Not at
the
all.
The listeners are like, get over it, guys.
Yeah.
It was 3
But here's
weeks
the
ago.
thing. Tom walks into the recording today and literally looks like Wolverine.
Like Wolverine, he shaved his beard.
Well, I shaved the
It's
goatee
amazing.
part of
I
my
know.
beard, and I have
You have the
giant
chops.
lamb chops.
I mean, Tom, I feel like you were built for this haircut.
Yes.
Or facial
yeah.
You should
haircuts.
have a stovetop hat or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
mean-
should go as Charles Dickens next year.
Yeah.
You're right, I could
a
see that.
corn cob pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I have one. I used to do Popeye for Halloween as well.
Arr,
Popeye
you'd be a
would be a good
great
one.
Popeye.
I did pretty
Did we talk about the fact that I feel like we might have talked about this, but you know how Popeye eats spinach to get strong
Yeah.
because it contains a lot of iron? Spinach doesn't contain a lot of iron. It was like a misread by the guy who created Popeye.
Oh, really?
Where he read some article where it was like, oh, there's 8 grams of protein of iron in spinach, and in reality it's like 0.8 grams of iron is in spinach.
So-
Oh, it's not the iron. That's what I need.
So
Popeye was
spinach
probably-
doesn't actually make you strong, and
Yeah.
so Popeye's kind of based on a fallacy.
I feel like he probably would overdose eating all that spinach.
Yeah.
And whatever is in there that could kill you. There's got to be
Vitamin
like an
K,
overdose of
right?
some
I feel
kind.
like
Yeah.
vitamin K is in
Right.
spinach.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
You mean the
Right.
drug?
No, that's special K. Also the cereal.
Special
Yeah.
K.
By the way, by BT
Are
Dubs.
we segueing into a cereal story?
No, well,
Oh.
no.
Lucky Charms.
More of a drug story.
Oh,
If sort of.
even better.
Yeah.
Jesus. Have you guys heard of crocodile?
Oh God, no. What is it?
It's like this thing that it's happening in Eastern Europe,
Okay.
and it's like it fucks you up. It's based on codeine.
Oh.
People inject it like heroin,
Ah!
but it actually eats your insides.
What?
What?
You literally like They call it
thought of this?
crocodile because it turns people into crocodiles. Like their skin
man.
like cracks and falls off. And,
Why do people take it?
Cause drugs.
horrible.
Cause drugs.
Oh,
and it's
God.
cheaper than heroin. It's like heroin but cheap.
Wow, man.
And they showed
Yeah.
somebody. So the reason why I brought this up is because last night when Heather got home, my wife got home, we were like watching TV in bed, and this thing was on, and
Right.
we just got sucked into it. But it's crazy because they were like, they showed this dude who was like, all right, I'm gonna cook. It was one of those like the drug underworlds or whatever that
Yeah.
show is, where they talk to like all the like
Yeah.
the people along the chain, from the users to the suppliers to the makers and all that
Wow.
stuff. Yeah, it's actually really, really interesting. They do it on all sorts of stuff, including illegal guns, which is really
Jeez.
interesting. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, they were doing it on crocodile,
And
this guy showed you how to make it. And I was
why?
like,
Why
on
would you do
TV?
that?
because
It's a terrible idea.
But they do that with meth. They do that with heroin, like cutting cocaine, like all the stuff. Because you're watching people like the whole process. Bros, what the fuck? It starts with codeine pills.
Okay.
He then crushes up the codeine pills
Yeah.
and like puts it in like a pot and turns the pot on, and then adds gasoline.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Literal gasoline.
That's how they make cocaine, too. They douse it in gasoline.
Really?
And
Oh,
then,
that
even
video.
worse, they take boxes of matches and they scrape off the shit that lights the match.
The flint.
Yeah, it's like red phosphorus.
Yeah.
They scrape it all off. Then they add that to the stuff.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, well, no wonder people, it like eats you away from
I
the
very
inside.
rarely take the
Gasoline.
Lord's name in vain, and I just did because that's absurd. Why would who came up with the idea is what I want to know. Who was like, you know what this
right.
needs?
A little bit of red phosphorus.
Yeah.
Scrape this matchbox into it and see if it tastes better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I'm assuming I don't, because then there's the whole
Wow.
thing. Like you guys have heard about the whole thing of the synthetic pot and the
Probably.
synthetic drugs.
What?
No.
Just
So the whole thing with synthetic drugs is essentially the way the legal system works when it comes to what classifies an illegal substance and not an illegal substance.
Right.
Is the actual chemical composition. So like it's
Right.
you know how you can like patent like a drug and you can see like the
Yeah.
The
it's
whole crazy code
2-chlorophyll
thing.
and
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Well, what they do is they say that is heroin.
Right.
So that
Is
is illegal.
illegal.
So what people do is they go, yeah, but if you just take one of those H's and turn it into like an H1N,
Yeah.
it does the same thing as heroin, but now it's not illegal.
Right. Okay.
And so that's what bath salts is.
Oh.
So what they do is they'll
change
to
the
make
chemical
that,
compound.
change it. So it's basically heroin, or
This
it's
is some
basically
Breaking
cocaine
Bad
or
shit going
speed.
down right now.
And then
also,
they
I did
sell
not
it.
say the name of that show. Please don't repeat it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they sell it in like 7-Eleven, but they call it bath salts.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how they get around because they're like, oh, it's close to heroin, but it's not
Yeah.
illegal. And also, we say not for human consumption on the package.
Yeah.
That's how they
but
get
people
away with
know to
it.
consume
Everybody knows to consume.
it. People know to consume it. Man, I don't get drugs.
I don't get
I mean,
drugs either.
I understand,
Yeah.
like,
Well, we drink
weed.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
and that's
drink.
the thing.
But I mean, like, I totally get weed. Like, that to me, because it's grown, it's part of, like,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
It
but,
feels
like,
very much like
but-
cigars, cigarettes,
Right.
pipe tobacco,
Right.
weed. It's all the
but
same.
if you're consuming stuff that's literally been made in, like, a chemistry lab that just
Yeah.
isn't of this natural world,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, what
at
is the
all.
high like from crocodile? Like, what is that
Yeah.
in relation,
I mean, I think
relatable
it's
to?
like heroin,
Oh, okay.
but super high intense, but it also only lasts like 2 hours. So they basically shoot it up, and then immediately you're like, I gotta go get more crocodile.
Did I tell you guys the story about taking Adderall on my birthday?
No.
So I've never, like Adderall's a big thing. Adderall's like it's something that people take if they have
ADD.
ADD, yeah, or HD,
H1NC, yeah,
whatever,
HCM.
you know what I mean. But it also gets abused because it's basically speed.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's basically speed. It's prescription speed.
Which is really funny to me to think that the thing for attention deficit disorder
Yeah.
is
Right.
fucking
Well,
speed.
but-
It's because
no, you want to slow people down.
well, because attention deficit disorder is basically your brain running too fast.
right.
But so speed actually, what speed does is that if you have a normal brain chemistry, it speeds it up. But if you have high active brain
it slows
chemistry,
it down.
it slows it. There's a medium that it
Got it.
hits,
Interesting.
right?
Science.
Science. I'm pretty sure that was the science behind it anyway. But like a lot of people take it as a recreation drug. So my birthday
Oh, dear.
this year, a buddy of mine was
Oh, dear.
like, you should take an Adderall. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not taking a fucking Adderall. I've never done it before. What are you talking about? No, I'm not doing that. He's like, literally.
She's like, you're talking too fast.
Yeah, I know. I'm already, you guys, I've had 4 sips of whiskey and I'm already talking like this. But he was like, listen, take half a pill. He's like, all it's going to do is kind of just like keep you through the night. You're not going to hit that point where you're like, oh, I've drank too much and I'm feeling sleepy. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's my birthday. Also, this is a very good friend. Like, I trust this person. I'm not getting like something cut with something else or whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll take half. Because like the pills are already super tiny. And I was like, I'll take a half of a super tiny thing, right?
Oh, dear.
And I take it and, no, well, I mean, you guys were at my birthday. Like,
oh, was that birthday?
This year. You guys were there. Yeah.
You seem
it was fine. I was totally fine.
Normal.
That's what I mean. Like, nothing felt weird. Nothing felt out of the ordinary. But he was right. It was like, I just made, like, there was never a point in my birthday party where I was like, I'm tired or I've drank too much champagne or whatever. But then I go home. So my friends drive me home.
And you're like, now my apartment is impeccable.
Right?
I stayed up till 5 a.m. cleaning everything.
I get home. I was like texting with a bunch of friends. I took my shoes off, and this is odd. The shoes I wore that night to my birthday, the sole on the inside of the shoe, they were kind of an old pair of heels, so they were kind of already like a little falling apart. And the sole, because I'd been standing in them all day and my feet were sweating, the sole degraded and disintegrated and stuck to the bottom of my foot.
Weird.
So I took my heels off, and the bottom of my feet are just covered in this like leather stuff that's stuck on the bottom. So I was like, oh my God. So I then had to turn on the bathtub, and I was soaking my feet to like get all this stuff off my feet. Anyway, my point is I didn't really go to bed on my birthday until like 3:30 in the morning.
Amazing.
And at 3:30 in the morning, I get into bed and I'm lying in bed and I'm staring at the ceiling, and I went, oh, this is Adderall. I'm not sleeping tonight. Like, that's what it was. I just stared at the fucking ceiling and I was like, I'm not tired. What the fuck is happening? Yeah. I was up until 6 a.m. It was awful. It was awful. All I wanted to do was go to bed and have like a decent night's sleep. And instead at like 6 a.m., that's when I finally was like, crash. And I was like, I would never want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay up till 6 a.m. every
by the way, that's why a lot of the people that abuse it are college students because they use it to study. They use it to stay up longer. And that's the type of stuff where I'm like, boy, that's a slippery slope. Like, I had one buddy, because when you're in college, it's the first time that you really meet a cross-section, like a true representation of the entire population of the planet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you're in high school.
Unless you went to Boston College like I did. We called it Clorox College.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's true. Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're in high
15
school,
years ago.
it's like a little slice of that small town. Usually, I mean, unless you grow up in a big town or whatever. But like for me, it was like, oh, okay. Then when I went to college, I was like, oh, there's a vast diversity of ways to get fucked up. And ways that people prefer to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So I was starting to drink at the time, and I was like, oh, drinking, I get this. This is how I get fucked up. Right? Like, this is my thing.
Right.
And there were other people that were like, let's all get fucked up. Great. And then there were like the potheads, which at the time was like Sketchy McSketchersons, because you had to like have a buddy that figured out and knew where to get it and all that shit.
Right.
Now it's like potheads are people that sit in Starbucks. You know
also,
what I mean?
I feel like compared to us, potheads are healthier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the healthiest form of any sort of additional substance, or some sort of whatever it is.
Yeah, mind-altering
substance. It's like weed, and then it's alcohol.
Yeah,
like alcohol.
Totally. Yeah. So, but anyway, then I had like this one friend of mine that was really into alt drugs, like different kinds of drugs, and would do like, at one point I went over to a party, and he was like, I can't remember what was happening, but all of a sudden I was like, he is literally smashing up a pill. Like smashing a pill up and then snorting it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I want any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to know what the deal is with that.
No.
Like, he's just going to do himself. Like, you do you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Hope that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was really interesting being in college and all of a sudden. And by the way, you also have a whole subsection of people who are highly against all of those things.
Yeah.
Or just don't find it interesting and still go to the party. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a weird...
Did I tell you guys about lighting a cigarette for the first time recently?
Yeah, for the first time
recently? I've never smoked ever.
I've never smoked.
Wait, hold on. Let me take that back. I have smoked weed. Not on a regular basis, but I have. But I've never smoked a cigarette.
They light up the same way.
They do. Yes. Absolutely. But...
One up, hop,
But I actually had an audition recently where I was a smoker and I was supposed to be smoking during the audition and I didn't want to walk in with an unlit. I didn't light the cigarette in the audition. I lit it beforehand, so it was already burnt. So I wasn't like fake smoking an unlit cigarette. You know what I mean? But
so you were fake smoking a
real cigarette,
a pre-lit cigarette. But I was like,
lit.
I'm gonna light it. Like this was a day or two before the audition. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to light a cigarette because I just never done it before.
Yeah.
And I sat out back on my like back porch area, and I like take out the cigarette that I basically stole it from my friend's husband.
And you looked super smooth while you attempted to light the first cigarette.
And I like lit it, and I take an inhale, and it's like literally the first time I've ever inhaled a cigarette before in my life. And I'm like, and I blow it out, and I'm like, and I was like. Like it, and then I immediately felt so sick. I was like, "This is awful.
Yeah,
why do people do this? I don't get it."
You have to get past the awful. What I've been told, because I've also only had like 5 cigarettes in my entire life, and usually at a party, somebody's smoking, and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll have one too." But I don't inhale because it doesn't work for me.
No.
Whatever. But yeah, I think what I've learned is you have to kind of fight through the shit, and then the addiction kicks in, and then you're happy.
And then you're then it's like
happy.
coffee.
So
I feel like that's
exactly
why
like coffee.
I've never drank coffee because I take one sip of coffee and I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. And people are like, you get used to it. And I'm like, I don't want to get used to it.
Why would I want to have to get used to it?
Also, because once I get used to it, I'm addicted to it.
I know. My buddy Jeff is the same way where he's like, because also he's like really like groggy in the morning, and I'm like, bro, this is what coffee it fixes. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to
rely on
coffee
it. Yeah,
every
exactly.
And I get that. Yeah. I think about that when I watch like Survivor and stuff. I'm like, those people are not drinking coffee. And I was like, I would have to literally wean myself off.
You know
coffee
what the substitute
go.
is? You drink a fuck ton of water in the morning. No, if you keep drinking water in the morning, it just like rehydrates you and gets you back up to a normal.
You're actually supposed to be drinking water in the morning anyway.
Yeah,
like,
but people who drink coffee
don't.
That's my point.
See, this is what we need to get her.
What? Why are you pointing at me?
Because I figured out what we need to get you.
Oh no, for Christmas?
We need to get you, just in general.
Okay.
We need to get you like a super fancy sweet coffee.
No.
That tastes awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. We need to get her like a super sexy barista guy.
Yeah.
And, like,
okay,
just
I'll
the
take.
apron making you the drink, and
Just
then maybe you'd finally drink it.
No,
because
I think
you don't want to turn down the hot,
Guys,
sexy
I
guy.
don't
and
even
insult
like
him.
coffee ice cream.
I don't either, but I like coffee.
And that's the sweetest
And
coffee
by the way,
flavor
no, it's
you
not.
can get.
No, because I hate coffee ice cream as well,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Not
And
a
I
fan.
drink black coffee.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
Because I
that
feel
explains
like
all those hairs on your chest, Alex.
I feel like
Maybe.
I shouldn't enjoy coffee. Like, I just feel like it's work. Like, getting up in the morning and I'm like, I gotta go to work. And actually, I've probably told this story before, but that's how I started drinking coffee. I never drank coffee through college.
Yeah, me neither.
Or high school, none of that stuff. And I got to a point where I got my first job, like full-time job.
Yeah.
And it sucked. It was a full-time
sucked.
job. So it was like, get up at
Gotta get through.
7:45, and I'll be like, fuck, I don't want any of this shit. Well, it's because I was very
Just out of
fast
college,
shower,
yeah.
and I was like, shower, boom, I'm in the office by 8:10.
Right.
And I get up at 7:45 because I hate it. Anyway, and as a gift, they gave me a mug.
Yeah.
Like a coffee mug. It's like,
Right.
welcome to the company. Here's a coffee mug. And
You
I'm
know
like,
you can drink tea out of that.
well, and then they plopped me down next to the break room where the fresh coffee was brewed.
Yeah.
And so that was my office. It was like my office, somebody else's office, and then the break room with all the coffee.
Okay.
And so for the first week, I was just powered through, got there, and I just kept smelling this coffee and smelling this coffee, and everybody was looked like zombies, and then they would walk out and they'd be like, hey, morning! And you're like, what just happened?
What happened?
You were a zombie. And then
What
you went in
drug
there.
did you just consume?
And so I did. I went in one day, and I was like, I'm just going to pour myself a black coffee. Like, I don't want to enjoy this. This is
Yeah.
medicine.
Medicine, yeah.
I'm going to pour myself some black coffee, and I drank it, and it woke me the fuck up, and I was like, well, hello, new addiction.
Oh, man.
And I've been drinking coffee every morning ever
I
since.
still think it's funny that
Sorry.
you once had a desk job.
Yeah, I know.
Did you have
I
to
was
like wear a
thinking
tie?
that.
and
I've never
button up
had
shirt?
that.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never had a full-time
I
job.
guess I've never had like.
Well, no, that's a lie.
typical-
I mean, I was a full-time employee for G4.
But yeah,
but
but you
that's
weren't-
not the type.
yeah.
That's not the 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
can't picture
Yeah.
you doing that.
I know.
Meetings.
Yeah.
All sorts
No,
of shit.
I don't even know what
Ties?
that's.
Did you wear ties?
I did not have to wear ties
never-
specifically.
Okay.
Man.
But I would tell you, there's nothing worse. And it's really funny. I just realized this because I've talked, everybody knows that I'm a very social person. Like I don't like doing things by myself.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't like doing things by myself. Like whenever I would skateboard with friends. I
Right.
would never skateboard by myself, even
Yeah.
though I enjoyed skateboarding.
Dude, I didn't go see a
immensely.
movie by myself until like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm sort of okay with it because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's in the middle of the afternoon, nobody's there.
Right.
There's a lot of people by themselves.
Right.
But anyway, but
Also, we're adults, so we no longer care what people think.
Yeah, exactly. No
I
shit.
wish that was true.
Yeah,
But so literally, I got to this point where my problem with a day job was sitting in my office with nothing to do.
By yourself.
yeah.
But specifically with nothing to do, right? Because
Yeah.
what I realize is most day jobs, like moment to moment, there's not tons of shit to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like mostly, and I was a tech support guy.
Yeah.
And so it was real reactive, right? Like if somebody's computer wasn't broken, I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting in my office, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Every
I've asked some of my
moment
friends who
of
have
it.
9-to-5 jobs, and I'm like, but what do you do all day? Like, there can't be something for you to do every minute of that 9 to 5. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, and some people it's like
Fascinates me.
and some people they have that where they're like stockbrokers or like film editors or sound designers. You're like you go in and you're still working on that same cut of that same movie. Like
Yeah.
if you are not working, if you're
But I
at
wouldn't
your desk
consider
working,
I wouldn't
you're
consider
cutting.
like a film editor a 9 to 5 because they can also their hours don't have to be 9 to 5.
No,
Like
it's true,
9
but-
to 5 is what like yes, stockbroker, yeah. Like 9 to 5 is when the rest of society depends on you being at that job from
Yeah.
9 to 5.
But like I think about
The
that
normal
like,
business
Yeah, but like a
hours.
banker is a great example. Like I go
Yeah.
into the bank and there are people that are there
Yeah.
working, and a lot of times I walk in and they're just kind of like.
I know.
It feels a little bit like walking into a car
And by the
dealership
way, you know what
where
drives
people
me
are just kind of
insane?
like sitting there talking with coffee, and then they're like, "Oh, I guess I got to fucking deal with this guy."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?"
But like obviously so much stuff has become automated with banks. Like you can do almost everything through an ATM now. It's
Yeah.
very rare that you need an actual
Or your phone.
teller or your phone. Yeah. I mean, like literally the only reason I need to go to a bank is when I need to get quarters to do laundry. Like that's
amazing.
it. But there was a time that I went to the bank and so there's just even though banks all have like 8 teller windows,
Yeah.
there's only maybe 2 tellers working at one time.
Yeah.
And I walk in and there was a line of 6 people and everyone was taking for fucking ever. And it was the first time that I was like, you have all of these windows. Why don't you have more tellers? Because they clearly don't have, there's no reason to have more tellers except for this one moment where there were too many people with too many massive problems or whatever was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally just need corners.
Yeah, it's really
Can
funny.
someone else just get me corners?
That process of how much of something, specifically tellers, like I think about that with there's a CVS around the corner, and I'll walk into that CVS.
I stopped
and
by
there's-
there right before this episode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was there a line?
Yes.
Right.
Because there's normally 2 people behind the counter.
Yep, yeah.
And one of the people had to help a very sweet old lady go find something in the
Yeah.
store.
That-
so then there was only one
But
person.
that
and I was
CVS,
like,
for whatever
"Oh."
fucking reason,
Yeah.
that CVS either has no line or the longest line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it comes out of nowhere. Like I walked in once to pick something up real quick. There was no line, and one person at the counter.
Yeah.
I walked in, grabbed the thing, and by the time I made it back to the
All
thing,
the line.
there was 6 people in line.
All the
and
line.
and the person's calling like, "Please, tellers, come in!" And I'm like,
At least they were trying.
I know, but I'm like, what the fuck?
Help me!
Yeah, there's so many people here. Everybody needs toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so I feel like it's one of those things where you're like, come on, guys, let's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking
Yeah,
of let's,
come
how
on,
about
guys.
we do an email?
An email?
yeah,
a
we
check
should.
of the email?
Check of the email
About
now that
23
we've been
minutes
talking
in, so-
20 minutes.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Ooh.
So you're a Yankees fan.
I am a Yankees fan.
Okay, well, did you know about this?
Ooh, I don't know.
Former Yankee references Allison's movie.
What?
Hello, 4-H trio. I'm called Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Hesitate slightly for Allison's part. Hi, Allison.
I get so excited.
I've been a fan of Tom's Arms since the podcast
Oh.
started.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh yeah, and Allison and Alex before that.
Good.
In case Allison didn't catch my tweet, because I guess he
no, I
tweeted,
don't feel like I know
a
this
former Yankee referenced one of her projects on one of his 5 favorite movies that should never have been made. Division 3 made the list.
Oh, yes!
That's great.
Below is a link to the segment on Le Batard show? I don't know.
What
ESPN radio
Yankee?
show. He doesn't say.
Oh, we'll watch the segment.
Well, it's not. It's an audio thing.
Oh.
Let me see if it. Let me
Does
go
it
to
say?
the tweetars.
So Division 3, Football's Finest, is a movie I did maybe like 7 years ago, something like that, with Andy Dick.
Yeah.
Stars Andy Dick. It's actually a very funny movie. It's kind of one of those movies that's highly entertaining, but you realize that there's no real plot.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I was on Netflix for the longest time, and I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
But that was like before I really kind of knew
feel like
you.
I saw parts
Otherwise, I
of
would have
it.
seen it.
Well, you guys should watch it.
Yeah.
Is it still on Netflix?
No, I don't think so.
know.
I've looked for it.
Let me see. I'm going to look it up.
I'll just...
That's awesome. That's someone referenced it. I love that it was a movie,
Mark?
favorite movie that should have never been made.
Oh wait, is that him?
Are you the love interest thing? 'Cause I
I
saw
am
the
the love
poster in your
interest.
house.
Yeah, I'm
and
the love interest.
you seem prominently featured on that.
Division.
It was somebody.
Movie by Marshall Cook.
Yeah.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
Football's Finest. There we go. I'm going to see if we can...
I know now.
Dead
I
air's
feel
no
like
good,
they shouldn't
people.
have taken
I
you
know.
this
something.
long.
No, now I've fucked everything up because.
Oh, here we go. It's
internet's-
available on... You can get it on YouTube for $2.99 or Google Play for $2.99.
Wait, there we go.
Yeah.
I love it.
So there... And Voodoo?
Well, we should have a screening of it sometime then when Alex puts in his theater.
Yeah.
Or we could do it in my house.
Yeah.
I know.
A DVD.
You have a theater. What are you doing?
I don't know.
A not so fun fact about that movie. My last name is spelled incorrectly in the opening credits. I was
Amazing.
Very upset
Are you
about
serious?
that. Yeah.
You're like, really, guys? Really?
Yeah. I know. I was like,
I'm in this
hello?
movie.
I know.
Well, you
Might
have
be
an
for the best.
ex-Yankee that.
I know. What? It doesn't say who?
It's the internet doesn't come out here that fast. And I hit a couple buttons, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't see the story we were going to talk.
Well.
So I was like, let's wait. But
Wish
if
I
you,
knew who.
so if you want, you could type in
Right.
this URL on your phone.
Why don't you
and
just
it's
forward it to me, Alex?
Because again, the internet's not the greatest.
Ah!
Saying.
Chad, why did you do this to us, Chad? Knowing
Hey.
we aren't very...
I can't type in that whole freaking
This is
URL.
why I said you probably don't want to do it, but you could. Anyway,
not
an ex-Yankee
confident
was like one of
about
his 5 favorite movies that shouldn't have been made. And it was really funny because I remember when I picked this out, I think the email's from a week ago, I think. Well, now.
Now 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, last year. But I listened to a little bit of it, and he was like, I don't know who, because I guess he said that it was an Andy Dick passion project.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know why any studio goes, hey, I got an Andy Dick passion project about Division III college football. And somebody's like, hell yeah.
Sold.
Hell yeah.
Yes, everyone says that.
All right, now I got to see it.
Allison's
Man.
very happy that somebody did say that.
I know. I'm trying to. My internet's working. I'm very upset.
I can tell.
That
I
you
can
can't
see-
find us.
I can
Forward
see
it to me
your-
right now. I'm on your Wi-Fi and it's
Jesus.
working.
Jesus.
And it
So
is
slow.
working.
It's so slow, and I hear my computer whining. It's like so loud.
This
and
is
I'm
not my fault.
I know, but
This is not my problem. Make it
I
happen.
don't want the internet to stop the recording of the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Jesus.
Anyways.
It's your fault for teasing me with this.
Yeah, Tom's like, really? I got to be the guy to keep this shit on track?
I don't want that responsibility.
Yeah, you're like, I
came
just
here to
show
have
up for my one sentence stories. Jesus.
Did it happen?
Something happened.
All right, cool.
Mrs.
All right,
Hayslip.
move on.
Yeah, we'll get back to
Okay,
that.
I got the email.
Okay.
Okay,
Do
good.
it.
All right.
Now touch things. All right. Here we
Yeah.
go. Let's do this
Oh.
one.
It's Mark. Oh, I always forget how to say his last name.
Triggers and
No,
Texiera.
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 Yeah, yeah. Forget how to say it,
Texiera.
too. It's,
Yes, exactly.
Hey, there you go. That's a
who
person.
That is.
He
No, it's
watches
totally
your
a
shows.
person.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big
Awesome.
name for a Yankee.
Yeah, he's a
player,
good Yankee.
He liked your movie.
He likes my movie.
That means he's seen you in a movie as the love interest in a movie
Yeah.
that he
Oh my
enjoyed.
gosh, you mean you could hook up with this guy?
Maybe text him and.
I'm pretty sure this dude is married.
Those guys cheat all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
You
well,
could be the other woman.
Yeah. You could be the other woman
What
to a
is
famous
wrong
baseball
with
player.
you?
I would do that. I'll dress up like you and go do that myself.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I
Send
get some-
Tom.
Seems like he's probably a rich guy.
Yeah.
You guys
Some
are
tickets to the
ridiculous.
game.
Yeah.
All right, I found
not
this
even a
whole tweet.
Yankees
I'm going to
fan,
watch
but-
the segment when we're done, but that's awesome. Thanks, Mark. Texiera.
I can't remember.
Texiera.
I was a
That's
Red
amazing.
Sox guy, so
Did I
know
talk-
the name.
Did I talk to you guys about how I actually saw Jim Abbott's no-hitter?
What?
Which, if you're a baseball fan,
Right.
Jim
Not
Abbott
so
was an
much.
amazing pitcher
Okay.
back in the
1983?
90s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And he only had one hand.
Oh.
So he obviously pitched with that hand, but he would hold the glove
He
under his
obviously
arm.
pitched with that hand.
So he had this move where he would pitch, and then as soon as he would threw the ball, would throw his pitching hand into the glove that he held under his arm in case he needed to field the ball.
That's
so
awesome.
The other thing is he could only ever play for American League teams because he could never bat.
Oh,
So-
right. Yeah.
But I actually, my dad, it was a big thing for my dad to take me and my brother to a Yankees game every year. And I think it was 1993. And he took my brother and I to a Yankees game, and it happened to be Jim Abbott's no-hitter. The one-handed pitcher in the major leagues, he threw a no-hitter. And I was at that game.
That's
which
so
is
cool.
so cool. Yeah. I know. That's like baseball history.
Yeah.
there, you know? I
That's
gotta
like
be
being
there.
at
cool.
the Red
Yeah.
Sox game with the guy who missed the
Oh,
baseball.
Buckner.
Bill Buckner.
Yeah.
Sad.
But anyway, the
Not his
fact
fault,
that
not
another
his fault.
Yankee knows I exist is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
Knows you exist. Enjoyed
Yeah.
your acting
Yeah,
prowess.
exactly.
Probably paid to rent the movie, which is
Yeah.
good. That's money in your pocket. You get
Yeah.
residuals for that.
That's 2
What?
cents.
Yeah.
Ba-bam.
Bam.
Ba-bam. Have you ever gotten a residual off of a movie?
I have, yes. Actually, listen to this. It was a movie. When we shot it, it was called Farewell Bender. It was a great movie. And then it got bought by a distribution company, and they changed the name to Wasted.
Oh.
The movie's now called Wasted, and every once in a blue moon, I get like a very small residual check for it. But guess who the distribution company was?
Oh no, someone went bankrupt. Weinstein.
Weinstein. Yeah, that's my only, thank God, association with
the
Harvey
Weinstein
Weinstein.
company. That is
is that his company
amazing.
bought this movie that I was in. I mean, I was never met the man or had any interaction with him whatsoever.
God.
But yeah, I thought about
God.
that when because Kevin Smith has said that any residuals he makes from
Right,
any
yeah.
Weinstein movie,
He's
he's
gonna
going to
donate.
donate.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder if I'll ever get another residual from that movie.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, I got 75 cents. I'm going to donate
literally,
it to
like,
Starbucks.
I think I made $13
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
off of it.
Dude, residuals are so fucking
I know.
weird.
Do you get
I know.
anything for anything? Then?
No.
Because you're TV.
Every once in a while, I'll get Jimmy Fallon stuff. Because anytime
yeah.
they rerun,
Yeah,
the
I'll still get
episodes of Jimmy Fallon
Late
I've
Night
been
with
on.
Carson Daly.
Yeah.
I mean, I get residuals for a lot of stuff. I just don't get it from movies.
Yeah,
Movies
yeah,
are the
yeah.
hardest thing to actually get residuals for. TV,
Yeah,
it's
because
easy.
mostly they figure out how to make it so that all movies lose money. I don't know
Yeah,
how that
exactly.
works,
Tricky
considering
market.
Hollywood
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
entertainment
exactly.
industry. I think it's like Marvel's like, $7 billion in revenue
Yeah.
or whatever. But they're like, yeah, we don't make any money on those.
Yeah.
It's a job I want to run those books.
Yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I know where
Run-
the money's going.
Run
into
the
my
books,
pocket.
Tom.
Yeah.
You know what
How do
you
I
need?
get that job running
we need
books in
Tom
Hollywood?
Run the
Volcano in here
books.
running the books.
Yeah. All right. Do we have time for
really
another
sounds
story?
stupid.
I
Yeah.
think that might be. Let's see.
Wait. Oh wait. You guys.
Wait.
After all that silence you guys had waiting
We got
31
silence.
minutes in.
Oh yeah. Let's do
I'll
another
do
story.
one more. All right, here we go. So this is in from our artist Tim.
Oh, artist
Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, I said, "Hey guys, artist Tim here. Hi,
Artist
Allison.
Hey.
No art today, but a story, just because spiders.
Spiders.
This is so great. Ready?
I don't know. Emma.
Arizona man
Oh no.
torches home
Oh.
trying to kill
I
spiders
feel like I heard about this.
with a blowtorch.
Yep.
Didn't we talk about this?
Did we?
No, I think we've talked about
Separately.
this kind
Well,
of
no,
stuff
yeah, because
happening.
we had the person who was the police showed up because they thought it
right.
was
Oh, right.
domestic violence, and it was just a guy trying to fight a
I
spider.
forgot about that. That was
I
amazing.
don't think we've done the actual
Guy
blowtorch
burning, yeah.
for the spider.
Okay.
We
But a
always
lot-
say that's
we've
what
always
you
done-
should do.
Yeah, torch the house.
man.
Here's a person that did it. Took it to heart. Saw a
Yeah.
spider, torched the house.
Man.
So a man in Arizona lit his mobile home on fire after trying to kill a spider with a blowtorch.
Yeah.
I mean, understandable
Tucson
reaction.
fire department was sent on the scene Sunday to stop the fire from spreading. When the firefighters arrived, an elderly woman had already been carried out of the home by her son and
Aw.
neighbors.
Dear.
She sustained minor injuries while being rescued from the house, but no other injuries. Took firefighters 23 firefighters 11 minutes to put out the fire. While the cause is still under investigation, quote unquote, they said
Clearly.
they suspect it was started by the use of a propane torch to
Yeah.
kill
That's when you just
spider.
throw a shoe, you guys.
But I do feel like
Maybe
there's a
just throw
part
a
of me.
shoe.
Yeah, but there's a part of me that's like, if I see a fucking spider, like
Yeah.
a crazy spider, like
Yeah.
let's say
Oh.
serious spider,
Yeah.
and I am standing next to a propane blowtorch, I feel like there's a part of me that's going to be like,
No,
I got an idea.
Because here's what
You
goes.
know what I
Here's
mean?
what goes through my head. If you've seen Arachnophobia,
Oh, I have.
you set the spider on fire, and then you have a flaming spider running at you, which is
Oh, that
Doubly
doubly
terrifying.
does
worse,
sound worse. That
than
does
just
sound
spider
like-
running at you.
exactly twice as worse.
Yeah.
To have a flaming ball of
Spider.
You know, I just heard recently, like,
what did you hear, Tom?
that like brown recluses don't exist in California.
What?
We always heard that they did.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
no, they're
interesting.
mainly like southeastern or something like that.
Yeah.
But they don't actually live here.
So
Huh.
New Mexico's
Orchid-
fucked.
Yeah, I guess so. My
Okay.
Orkin guy always told me they never existed here, but I always heard stories that they did. Because those are the ones
Yeah.
that give you necrosis on your skin and it eats away.
Yeah.
Gross.
But I'm just saying this is good news for us.
But we
I'm
could just
actually
take
giving you
we could
some
just take crocodile instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, guys,
You're
Like how I just segued back
Yeah, it was
back right to
poison
the
in
beginning of the
your skin.
episode.
if you're not using crocodile because you were like, but I could at some point get bit by a brown recluse.
Yeah.
And that would have the same effect. I don't
Maybe
want to
I'll
double
just
it.
do this.
I'll wait.
And I'm making
Yeah.
the choice.
Yeah.
At least you're like,
Active choice.
Yeah.
Now you feel free to crocodile it up.
Crocodile it up.
Yeah.
The crocodile rock.
The crocodile rock. Oh my god. All right. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Are we
did
doing it?
We did
I'm
it.
actually now just trying to think of how the Elton John song goes. I remember
Crocodile.
when Rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun. Why are you staring at me like you don't know the song?
Oh, I do now.
Crocodile
Say that
rocking,
to shut you up.
something shocking when your feet just can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never
We just
will.
got sued.
Did we? I don't think so.
just
Elton John's like,
Not
singing my
Those
song.
Friday nights. All right. Anyway, thanks to everyone who listened. Yeah. Thanks to Max Teixeira for mentioning the movie I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for Chad for sending us in the thing that
Thanks,
said that Mark
Chad.
Teixeira saw my movie. Listen, that's it for this episode. If you want to email us, you can email us at Nope. Half hour happy hour fans at gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, half hour happy HR. You can subscribe to us, please, on whatever you listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that good shit. That is it for this episode of the Half Hour Happy Hour with Allison and Alex. I'm Alison Haislip.
And I'm Alex Albrecht. Sitting in with us is the lovely and talented Tom Super Volcano Krajewski. We will see you next week.
Tam!
Now leaving Nerdist.com.